I heard we're showing our after-divorce glow-ups.
You guys gotta do way better than that. So basically, she divorced the husband to marry a guy who was in jail. She said it was the best decision ever.
My marriage was a bad match from the very beginning, and we probably shouldn't have gotten married. But we stuck it out for really not that long.
Translation: I pretended like I was gonna try, but I just wanted out.
But when it finally came to its conclusion, we had moved into a house that we bought and remodeled. We'd been there for about 2 months at that point.
They invested a lot of money in that house, but who got to keep it?
Things were pretty bad. I had been sleeping on the couch. We really were not getting along very well.
The wife sleeps on the couch? You don't see that very often, unless she was done with the marriage. Was she seeing someone else? I guess we'll never know. And guys, you know I got your backs. I'm always all over the ladies. But I gotta say this though. Some of you need to be better husbands.
A friend of mine had told me that, it's time to leave. And I said, no, I gotta stick it out. We just got into this house. We have to figure out a way to make it work.
She was sleeping on the couch, which tells me that she was definitely not trying to make this thing work. She probably was waiting on the next guy to step up.
So my husband came home late one night. He said he'd been working late. I was in the bedroom actually, and he walked into the bedroom and he greeted me with the words, "I think we should separate."
For the most part, guys don't leave. There's a lot more to the story that she's not telling us.
And at first I was really mad. I was furious. I got up, I took off my rings, I threw them into my jewelry box. I said, "What are you doing? How could you make this decision without me?" He told me that he'd been talking to his mom about it. His mom thought it was a good idea. I was really angry that he was discussing our marriage with his mother. I found out later it wasn't his mother, it was his girlfriend that he'd been talking to.
Bruh. It looks like he was trying to move on, but what happened prior to this? What got him to this point?
Anyway, I was really mad. I stormed out of the room. I went down the hall. I walked into our office. I sat down in the office chair in front of the computer. The lights were out. This desktop Dell was just glowing, so everything was blue. And he followed me, and he stood there in the doorway to the office, and he was illuminated by that blue light from the computer. And he said to me, "Isn't this what you want? Don't you hate me?" And in that moment, it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and I realized how right he was. And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, I do hate you."
Like I said, the whole time she was faking it. You don't just flip a switch just like that.
And we agreed at that moment that we needed to end our marriage. And from that moment on, I could stop hating my husband because he was no longer my husband. I was no longer trapped in this miserable marriage with him.
It's always about them. She still has not told us what got him to this point.
He was my partner in untangling this thing, and we were releasing each other so that we could go our separate ways and live our lives the way that we wanted to. And I didn't have to hate him anymore. And that awful moment ended up being so incredibly beautiful. Everything changed with that honesty.
A few moments later.
Hi there, my name is Tara Eisenhard, and I love divorce.
If you marry someone who thinks like this, you're an idiot.
And yes, I know that sounds crazy. I'm a child of divorced parents. I'm an ex-wife, I'm a next wife, and I'm the previous partner of a divorced dad. I'm a next wife.
I guess she found the next sucker to divorce in the future. If you're listening to this, just run for your life.
Run! So I've seen divorce from many different perspectives. and most of my experience has been positive. As a child, I saw my parents separate, and I realized that when they didn't have to be life partners anymore, when they didn't have to live together, their relationship improved. As I spent more time with them individually and saw them as complete, authentic people, my relationships with each of them improved.
This woman was not trained to be a wife, guys.